All right, we're here with Troy Nickerson's first year with Army West Point, first trip to the NCAAs with America's team. First, let's kind of tell us a little bit about the four guys that you got coming out here.
Yeah, really excited about the group that we have. Starting us off in the lighter weights, Ethan Bergen, fourth time to the tournament. Ethan he has to win a match here at this event. I like how he's wrestled all year. He's been really, really consistent, and I think he's got a pretty favorable path. Obviously, all the matches you have to go out there and win them, but I like where he's at in his training, his preparation. He should be ready to go.
What are your conversations like with him coming into this as a senior last chance out here?
Not much. It's just kind of go out and let it fly. I think we've seen when Ethan is offensive, he's explosive, he's dynamic, he's got a lot of offense. If he can go out there and just execute, he's going to be fine. So there really hasn't been a lot of conversation. I think he knows, like, I've been here, I've done this a couple times, and if I just go out and execute, good things will happen.
You got Braden Basil, got him coming out at 141 second trip out here. What's his preparation like? He's here as an at-large fit, but the way that he wrestles, they got wild card written all over him. So talk about his strengths a little bit.
Yeah, I think Braden is a guy that, he brings a lot to the table. He's got a ton of offense. He's got a lot of tricks. He can be really dynamic on the mat, and I think he's a dangerous draw for anybody in the tournament, right? And again, we've seen in his preparation, his weight management, all those little things, he's really dialed in towards the end of the season here. And I'm just excited to go let him shine, right? That's really what it comes down to for him. I think when he can go out and just be free and just go do his thing, he tends to show up when the moments are brightest, right? When the lights are brightest. And this is one of those moments. So I'm excited to see him.
Yeah, I would say he's one of those guys where you can try to coach him, but more than often than not, you just pat him on the ass and say, go get him.
Absolutely.
That's for fly, for sure. Third trip out for Gunnar Flipwitz. Pretty steady, pretty consistent season. What's prep week been like for him?
Pretty similar to Ethan, just keeping him dialed in, keeping him healthy, keeping him, bought into his weight management, just trying to do the little things right, keeping everything kind of even keel, trying not to, add too many different objects to what we're trying to do. I think all four of these guys, how you get on the podium, how you win this tournament is go out and be you, right? And I think that's been the messaging with Gunnar is go out and just do Gunnar things and good things will happen.
And then the big guy, Brady Colbert, second time out here, won a match here last year. You excited to watch him compete?
Yeah, no, Brady, I mean, we've seen the steady progression of Brady Colbert all season long. I think he's continuing to get better. He's had some really big wins in the past. Got a, really electric first match here, that I think a lot of people have a lot of eyes on. I don't know if a lot of people are giving Brady probably the credit he deserves, right? I mean, he's got a tough opponent in round one, but I hear everybody talking about the other guy, not too much about Brady Colbert, so hopefully he can go out and, kind of shock a lot of people and just get on that right run where he needs to be an All-American.
What's going into preparation here? We have a lot of guys who have been here before that have been consistently ranked. Looking back at like a Ben Pazook who went from that guy his fourth time out here getting onto the podium. What are you telling these guys how to get it done? What's the messaging that?
Yeah, it's all about you at this point, right? I mean, you go out and do what you need to do to get your hand raised, right? And good things will happen. I think we've got two guys that are 18 seeds coming into this tournament. I believe Ben Pazook was an 18 seed when he got on the podium last. So just being able to go out and just be free and just go do your type of skills, good things are going to happen.
Talk a little bit about the guys that are here for the trip. We got on that bus early the other morning. What is their commitment? What is their dedication to the training? What are they doing while they're here, and how does that speak to the program?
I mean, what aren't they doing, right? I think that's the B-Hall way, right? These guys, they're here helping these guys prepare, helping them get ready, helping them with the little things, right? With getting, helping them with their meals, helping them with laundry, helping them with just any little type of preparation they need, right? Going into an event like this. Those guys are selfless, right? They are, what we want to see out of every guy on our team. And I think, guys like Lucas Stoddard who have been here and guys like Wolfie who have been here and, then a newcomer like Joe Antonio who he's going to be here, right? In the real near future. We want those guys to have those experiences because especially for a guy like Joe, like we fully expect him this weekend to visualize himself being here next year.
How's the weather been in Cleveland, and other impressions of Cleveland as a site so far?
We went over to the venue earlier today. I think it's a fantastic venue. I think we're in a pretty comfortable spot here in the hotel. I've tried to avoid going outside so much because it is a little cold. Usually I feel like when we're coming to these events, we can kind of get to a little bit warmer weather and just have a little bit more of that, NCAA springtime feel. But at the end of the day, the wrestle mat's the same size, same type of arena we compete in every year. These guys are locked and ready to go.
We've got some guys sitting down here in a few minutes. We're at the NCAA tournament. They're going to sit down and take a test. Is that different than other places that you've coached, and does that make it more challenging? Is that a good thing? Like, how do you view, hey, these guys are here and they're taking a test?
Yeah, I mean that's West Point, right? That's what these guys signed up for. That's what they do, right? I mean, this is a place where you are not gonna be taking online classes and barely going to class and you know just worried about wrestling, right? You have other duties, obligations that you're expected to do while you're here. And these guys, they're getting ready, Big T week and spring break coming up. They have things they need to do, and we're very fortunate in the sense to have Colonel Gist here that can help proctor those exams for them and make sure that they stay on top of their schoolwork so they're not getting behind as they go home.
First year head coach, talk about the support community that you've experienced since you've been here a little bit, and conclude like alumni, the guys you just mentioned, ORs. Like, how's that been? How's that experience for you?
Yeah, the West Point community's been absolutely outstanding. Seeing the amount of people, right, that are around to help out our program, it's something that certainly I haven't been used to in the past, right? And having that type of support, going from, I mean, just all the way down, right, to, you talk about our team managers, right? The support that we have here, through, Jeff, our director of wrestling development, and Spencer, and, all the people involved, right? Our ORs, I think we have 12 of them, right? It's absolutely incredible. Our alumni have been fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of them here at our social on Friday afternoon. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of black and gold out there in the crowd.
Is Spencer Sally the best trainer in Division One?
100% hands down the best trainer in the country. Okay. Coach Green, what does this year's tournament mean to you?
Well, I mean, it's you never know, what life's going to bring. So probably at the point when I was coaching before at Binghamton, I was like, it's probably my last NCAA. And then things turned around, and here I am again with Army. So working into a club role next year. Looking forward to maybe enjoying the tournament from a very, very interested fans perspective. But really kind of just everything that you love about the NCAA tournament happens between the matches in a lot of ways. So looking forward to just being with the guys. Ethan's fourth trip out here, just, seeing him complete this journey is exciting for me. Been with him for the entirety of it. And connecting with alumni and all the people that love America's team, that love Army West Point.
Yeah, speaking about our guys, I mean, especially the guys on this trip, these are guys that you've been around for a long, long time, and
Yep.
multiple roles. Talk about that relationship piece and,
Yeah, I think
everything
it's
that goes on outside of the wrestling.
West Point is just different, and everyone knows that, but they can't really kind of put their finger on it. So, watching kids like Ethan came in through the prep school my first year here. Wolfgang, obviously came with me from Wyoming Seminary, and is on this trip as a training partner. Just seeing them develop, in some cases from the time that they were 14 years old, into people who are going to take on a leadership role in our country is pretty special. I think you feel that in every place that you are, because you get to see growth in your team, both on the mat and off the mat. But I think West Point's just a little bit different. Seeing kids who come in young, eager, maybe not exactly knowing, hey, did this guy tell me the truth during the recruiting process, and then all of a sudden they're ready to take that next step out there. And the NCAAs is kind of that last hurrah for them. It's exciting, and I think they have a really, really good perspective on what this tournament is and what it means to them.
A guy like Ethan Bergen, obviously his last trip here as an athlete, he's heading on, going into field artillery, but not quite yet.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about his next 6 months after.
Yeah, so I think Ethan is a great example of a guy who He probably going to get like a Biha tattoo, right? But he doesn't need one to show that's how he lives his life. He's a guy who came in at the prep school and qualified for the NCAA 4 times. One of the most consistent wrestlers in the country over the period of the last 4 years. Just someone that you can always depend on. Won a lot of huge dual meets for us with his performance, and it means enough to him that he's going to stay on. So in his first 6 months in the Army after graduation, he's going to be working out in our room as an athletic intern. So the guys that have done that have provided a lot of value with us, just outside of their results. Guys who can come in and mentor young people who are coming in to West Point and really kind of help the staff reflect the Army values, because all of us are not enlisted, we're not commissioned, so we don't have the same institutional knowledge that a kid like Ethan will have. So we're excited to have him remain with us after graduation for a little bit.
You've been really integral in developing our alumni base and helping grow that support system and that community around this program. Talk about how important that is to this program and to our continued growth.
Yeah, I think it is. I think the growth of the alumni base in every sport is important in today's NCAA, but especially wrestling. You can look online and see what every program spends on their team and what every program spends on their club, and see that those results correlate pretty closely to success at the highest level. So us having people in here that are going to come and be supported by our alumni to train for freestyle events or Greco events, that's very important to us. And us being able to go to the toughest events because it's funded by our club fund, or our be able to attract great candidates for coaching because we have endowed coaching chairs. All those things are critical. I'm looking forward to getting into that role a little bit more with the club, but I think we've made tremendous progress over the last 5 years in that area.
Last question. You've been at this event
Since you won it, yeah, a little bit before that, yeah.
What do our guys need to do to be on that podium?
Believe they can do it, and not like manufactured, belief, like true belief. I think they need to go to bed thinking, man, like I can't wait to go to bed the next night undefeated and ready to get into those medal matches on Friday. If there's doubt, that's going to creep in. And these are seasoned guys. They've been here before, so that shouldn't be present in their preparation at this point. They should believe in the way that we train. They should believe in the abilities that they have, and if that kind of comes through, they're going to be weighing in again on Friday and Saturday.